Okay, guys, so now I'm back. I'm in the kitchen and I'm showing you everything that I pull out of my freezer and refrigerator. And the app that I chose out of the three that we talked about is Empty My Fridge. So I have the avocado oil, the bacon, the green beans, the cream of mushroom. I have the yellow and the red onion. I have green onions, the penne pasta. Those flowers did not come from my refrigerator. Those came from the hubby. I have the broccoli, the shrimp, and the salmon. And I'm going to sear the salmon and the shrimp in that pot that's over there. But then I'm going to show you what I'm doing right now on the stove. And what I'm doing is boiling the water for the penne pasta. And then the onions that I told you I had, the white, the red, and the green onions. That's pretty much what I did. I just cut them up pretty fine. So my kids will eat them if they're fine. They won't eat them if they're too chunky. And then I put a little bit of the avocado oil in there because I want the flavors to pop. And again, I'm going to season this with a little bit of salt and pepper. Then, of course, you know, I'm going to use my little fancy plates because I like them. But just so you can, and then once everything is done, I'm going to show you guys the final product like I normally do. It's just that it was so much to show you all and share with you all at the beginning of the video. I didn't want to miss a beat of you all seeing what I actually use, and then I actually want you to see the final product. So we're going to switch to the final product. I'm going to plate this because the salmon and the shrimp will take a bit of time to cook. You know, like the salmon will usually take about 8 to 9 minutes, and the shrimp is going to take about 5 minutes. And you guys know that we only have 20 minutes so we can get to the meat. So if you give me a bit, I will come back and show you the final plate. Okay, thanks. Hey guys, I'm Sandy White, the host of Simply Fit and your #1 health and wellness cheerleader. And on today's segment, I'm going to be talking to you guys about 3 apps that will help you save money, create a grocery list, utilizing the food that you currently have in your refrigerator and or your pantry, and it's going to make your life so much easier. So before we jump into all of that and what I've created, and I actually used one of the apps to do that. I want to just remind you guys, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. And I also want to share with you guys our mission, which is to save 1 million lives through health and nutrition so that you're able to overcome suicide and depression. Suicide and depression is linked to nutrition. When your nutritional values are low, your gut health is off, then it sends the wrong signals to your brain and then thus leads to the challenges that we've been having and hearing about with those individuals that are committing suicide. So we want to stop that. And our way of doing that is to provide you all with simple tips and strategies so you can be consistent with that. So with that being said, like and subscribe so you know all of the wonderful things that we're doing throughout the season. And then go check out wytv7.org. Guys, there's so much going on there that now we have an app. That way you can stay in the know, on the go, on your phone, checking out what we got going on. All right, so remember to do that. So now let's jump into what we have going on today. Let me check my time. Okay, so you guys know we cut everything down so we can just jump right into all of the juiciness. So you're looking at all like, what does she have going on? So the 3 apps, I thought they were pretty cool because sometimes even though you know what to do, maybe you've got a busy day or you've had a stressful day, and if you don't know, stress will block your thinking patterns where you're not even thinking rationally, you're not thinking smartly. So I thought this would be helpful where it's a no-brainer. Literally, it's a no-brainer. All 3 of these apps, the first one is free. It's a free app. It's a Super Cook. And it is, all of them do recipe generating. So what you do is you tell the app, hey, I've got this ingredients, that ingredient, so on and so forth. They all do that, but they've got, each one of them has a little caveat to it. So I'm not going to be able to go through all of that, but you should go and check out the information yourself for the three apps and then see which one works best for you. So Supercook, it as I mentioned, is a recipe generator, and it uses the food that you currently have so that you can make. And I'm looking at this because I want to make, because this is all new to me, so that you can make meals. And surprisingly, now this tastes really good, because sometimes you're thinking I'm gonna get a meal from a app generator, it's gonna taste like dog crap. No, it actually tastes pretty decent. Now you want to make sure that you are honest about what you have in there for the super cook, because it's literally going to work with what you put in there. So don't put hey, I'm gonna go buy it tomorrow, whatever. Don't do that. Just put what you have in there today. And the other reason I did this is because it's super cold where I am. It's 28 degrees. I'm not going outside. So I'm utilizing what I have. And I know I'm not the only one that's like, it's cold. Y'all remember that commercial? It's an old commercial, but the guy had his kids out there cleaning the snow, and the mom was like, hey, don't you want to go take them some cocoa? He said, no, it's cold outside. Well, I'm not taking no cocoa, but it's cold outside, and I'm not going to buy anything for anybody until it warms up a little bit. So I found these apps to be super helpful for me. And the other thing with the Supercook one is voice command. So you can speak in what you've got instead of manually typing it in. So plus for me. Now the other one is my empty my fridge. Now that's the one I use, because how many of you all got one ups? The peanut butter goes with jelly, and then eggs go with bacon, and you're missing something. Okay, this one I liked about it because it'll actually do substitution. So if you're missing an item, you say, hey, I want to make this, but I don't have that, it'll tell you something else. Now, of course, if you're looking for eggs and bacon and you don't have one of those, there's no substitute for bacon or eggs other than a substitutional like turkey bacon or the veggie bacon or something like that. Now that's a substitution, but I'm just saying, like, if you don't have regular bacon, that's what it's going to tell you. So don't think it's going to tell you something too far off. It's trying to keep it as close to what you would normally use. But again, I thought it was really good. So it saves you. Now with empty my fridge, it's going to save your favorite recipe, so you won't have to say, oh, I picked out this recipe, I thought it was really good, and now I don't know what I use, because I don't measure the way I cook. And a lot of times I make stuff because literally I'm listening to Holy Spirit. I'm doing what these apps are telling me. You got this, you got that, put this together and add this and put this amount on there. And so I'm listening to Holy Spirit. Now, this is the funny part. This is why I like this app, because it'll save whatever recipe you said you like. You can go and say, boop, I like it, and then you don't have to worry about it. Because a lot of times, Holy Spirit has told me to make a certain meal. I did not pay attention, and God is not obligated to, he's not obligated to repeat himself at will. So therefore, when my husband asked me to duplicate it again, I couldn't do it. And so that's a no-no. If Holy Spirit is telling you something, write it down. So don't do like I did. So again, I use empty my fridge. And what I did was I told it I had everything that you pretty much see on here. But I didn't use everything. Now, this one was penne pasta. And so penne pasta, it was the peas, it was a cream of mushroom. Now it didn't tell me to use the heavy whipping cream. I like the heavy whipping cream because I just like how creamy and smooth and a little bit of thickness. Like, for me, the right amount of thickness. It's not like your sauce is watery. And then I had my white onion, my red onion, and then my bacon is for garnish. My green onions are for garnish. But I also put it, when I was preparing everything, I actually sauteed my onions and the red and the green and my green onions. So the white, the red, and the green onions, I sauteed them. And then I boiled my penne pasta. I put my peas in there. I cut up now these are grape tomatoes. And I literally just cut them up to garnish. And then I put some more green onions on the top. You got to know your family, what they like, what they don't like. And then I gave my husband some, because when I told him what I was doing, he was like, oh, just do everything. So he has shrimp on the side, he has salmon, and then I did the bacon for garnish. Now, you don't have to use everything that they said. And case in point, I'm not going to use this broccoli unless my children want it on the side, because personally, I don't like green peas and broccoli taste mixed together. I'm not going to do that. So for me, I think you have to use some wisdom on what you like, what you don't like, what your family is willing to eat, so that when you're getting these combinations of what to put together to complete a meal, don't be wasting your time and your energy and your food if you know your family's not going to eat it. But I thought that was pretty cool because, and here's the other thing, this, I didn't even have to use salt and pepper. I tasted and I was like, I like it just the way it is. So taste your food as you go along so you don't over season your food. And the other thing, because I did use the shrimp and the salmon, I like the flavors to kind of marry together. So on the shrimp, instead of using Obey, because I wanted a Creole, jerk Creole type flavor, and I don't use a lot of it on my salmon and on my shrimp. So I did it like that. Because think about it, if you are flavoring your meats separately, now it depends on what you're doing. And again, like I said, you gotta know who's eating what and how it's going to pair together. So you don't want them to be too far off, and you don't want them to be like really disgusting. And again, because we are short on time, I wanted to kind of go backwards. So I'm backwards showing you the finished product, and then we're going to take a moment and see what I actually did as far as preparing everything. And then it's pretty much going to go over what I just did here, but just showing you that I really did cook all this, which you guys know I did. I did it myself, and it's delicious. I loved it. It's very refreshing that you can find an app that would actually give you something that's not far off in reference to your taste buds. Now, the last one was, it's actually called Chef with, what is it? It is Be a Financial Savvy Chef with a Cook List. So it again is a recipe generator. The kicker here with this one is it lets you connect whatever grocery store. Now I don't know if it's one or two because I didn't go through all of them. I just wanted to give you guys some like some steps on what you can do, and then go check them out for yourself. But Be a Financial Savvy Chef with Checklist is a recipe generator. You connect your grocery store with this. Now, the reason it's saying be a financial savvy chef is because when it's connected to your grocery store, now you know how much you're spending. So you don't want to overspend, and you don't want to go to the grocery store hungry. When you go to the grocery store hungry, a lot of people will shop as if they're about to eat it right now. You do know you have to go through all of the lines and the entire store to get whatever it is you went in there to get. And then if you actually have to cook it, you can't eat it right then and there. This is why it's a horrible thing to go into the store hungry, because you're shopping as if I'm going to shove this in my mouth right now. So this thing allows you to shop before you get there, and now you see what you're going to spend, and be properly prepared so you're not overspending, but you're actually getting what you need, and you're staying on top of your budget, and you're cooking a fantastic meal for your family. Now, you could splurge. My husband got me these flowers earlier this week, and they are still looking beautiful. You imagine you are in a position where you're constantly overspending because you're not paying attention to what you're doing, and you're going to the store hungry. You're buying food more than what you should because your hunger cravings are going to dictate to you stuff that you're like, why did I buy this? So I like these apps. They keep you on point. And then if you want to splurge on something that is going to be beautiful, that's going to help you visually, that's going to enhance your senses, that's going to make your environment beautiful, that's going to de-stress you. Flowers are beautiful to look at, and they will really just take the stress level down. Don't go to the store hungry. Use these 3 apps. The first one is Supercook. It's a free app. The other one is Empty My Fridge. It's a substitution app. And the third one is Be a Financial Savvy Chef with a Checklist. Now, we're going to take a bit of a break, and I'm going to come back showing you guys basically, again, everything that I use, all the stuff that I put in the pot, and then we're actually going to be done. And then the final product is you plate what you actually cook. So shrimp on the side, you can dump them in there. I like to let my husband, decide if he wants to put them in there or not. And you plate it, garnish it, and voila. It's beautiful. It's portion size, and it has everything in it. When you eat and you're preparing your meals, make sure they're colorful. Make sure it's pretty. And I wanted to tell you guys last time, I use the pretty plates because they make you feel like you're regal. They make you feel good. It's a psychology, and it's a means to psyching your brain out, and you actually end up eating less. And if you use a smaller plate, you'll eat even fewer portions. But I know what the portion size is, so I pretty much just put it on a plate like that. And then I spread it out just a little bit. It's still portion size, but it looks like you get more than a portion size. And you take your time and you eat. You savor the food. All right, guys, so let me stop talking, and I'm going to shift over so you guys can see what I did earlier. All right, guys, so I just want to tell you now, because after you see this, we're going to be headed into next week. And I want you guys to come back because I'm going to show you some more cooking tips and some more exercises that you can do that you can add into your everyday life. All right, so I love you guys, as I always tell you, and let's jump into what I did earlier in reference to the preparation. Bye, guys.